Welcome to Moss Marketing Mondays, a.k.a. the M3 Podcast. Brought to you by Moss Marketing Group, bringing you everything marketing every Monday. Stay tuned for marketing tips and tricks you can use today. The M3 Podcast, marketing knowledge to help you succeed. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. Today, we have good friends Rene and Daniela from Italian Delight. I have Ricky on my side of the couch over here, but you've missed out on the first, I don't know what, two hours? 2 hours it took us to get prepped to get started.
Yeah.
So you've missed out on the 2 hours that we've already been chatting it up. So very thankful to have you guys on the podcast.
Good to be here.
You guys have a phenomenal bit. She's like, I'm laughing. She's like, I'm ready to get started.
I realized I was supposed to say something there, but that didn't happen.
No, you weren't actually. I think I just jumped in there.
Okay.
The mic's all yours the whole entire time.
Okay.
You just put your hand up and we're done. It's yours. You guys have a crazy business model that we work with a lot of people, and it's rarely do we work with people when they're like, hey, yeah, we're already like so crazy busy. Like, don't post on the weekends because we don't want more work on the weekends. Yeah. Things like that.
I think we're guilty of that, huh?
Yeah. What does the path look like that has led you guys to where you're at now? Like, I want to start at the very beginning as kids to what has started it to where it is now.
Well, I mean, as kids, I mean, gosh, I mean, literally, we lived in Brooklyn, New York, growing up, and our father was rarely home because he worked a lot. He had a sub shop, right, Daniela? Mm-hmm. He had a sub shop in New York called Frank and Joe's, and I always thought my dad just kind of said that, and
we didn't really believe him.
Yeah, well, I mean, my dad, he kind of exaggerates things, If you know my dad, I mean, the guy, if he's 47 years old, oh, you're 50 years old. If you're 47, he's like, oh, you're 50 years old and you don't know, you know what I mean? Or if you make $5 an hour at the, then you only, in his eyes, you make $3.50 an hour. You know what I mean? Back then, anyway. So he just kind of, he said he owned a sandwich shop called Frank and Joe's, and it was he said it was very busy. It was in Brooklyn, New York, and like I said, I just went through a whole bunch of receipts of something because I was looking for something because we transferred the restaurant over to us now, and anyway, I found this like receipt in Brooklyn, New York, and it's called Frank and Joe's. It was
he wasn't lying.
He wasn't BSing.
Well, shit, it's real.
He was telling the truth. He really owned a sub shop called Frank and Joe's, and I was like, "Holy shit, Dad!" and he's like, "Well, what do you think?" You think I was lying?
The whole time?
Yeah. And if you ever met the guy, I mean, you can't. I mean, we have to translate for him, and he's speaking English. So
I know people would come in the restaurant, or the employees would be like, "What did he say?" I'm like, "He's speaking English. Why don't you understand him?"
Just listen.
But nobody could understand him. It's
I get it. I automatically translate for him.
Yeah, I know. But to me, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
he literally said, put the pizza in the oven. And it's like, put the That's what it sounds to other people,
I'm
put
gonna
the pizza in the oven. That means, hey, put the slice in and in about a couple minutes, you know what I mean? Pick it out.
I bet Frank and Joe's was good though.
Oh, I bet it was.
Oh, I bet it was good too. I don't, unfortunately, I don't remember it,
Yeah.
I mean.
How old were you guys at that time?
I was when we moved here, I was 4, she was 2. So we were young. I mean, it's like when I tell people, we're from Brooklyn, but we were raised here, in the Midwest. Yeah. But we've went back so often, and it's kind of like we can go back there, and I feel like I could fit in, but then I don't because of our accent.
So, what brought you guys to here to begin with?
So my dad, my dad's actually from the old country. He's from Italy, Mola di Bari, Italy, and it's a little town on the southeast corner of Italy. Well, not corner, but on the heel of the boot is what my dad always says. It's on the heel, right?
You gotta talk like him when you talk.
When I'm talking about the old man, I'm talking like it's on the heel, on the heel of the boot, and so him and Joe Avaluto, who's like an uncle to us, we love him, and they hooked up in New York, but they're both from the old country, from Bari, from Mola di Bari, and a little town on the heel of the boot. Anyway, they hooked up in Brooklyn, and they were like, back in those days, it was like the 70s. It was the mid 70s in Brooklyn, New York. So it wasn't like probably the most sanitary part of America, Right. If you see Brooklyn, New York back in the 70s. And so they came up with this idea. It's like, hey, let's look around and let's look around America and see where we can open up a New York style pizza place. And they thought it was a good idea, and just I think they've checked places like Arizona or
Wisconsin. I remember
Wisconsin. You've heard of Wisconsin.
You're like, why didn't you pick Arizona? The weather's way nicer.
Really? That's a good point. New Mexico.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I think New Mexico was on the list. I'm not 100% sure, so they may correct me. So anyway, they came down here in '76 with a Yankees and Royals playoff game. I don't know how they got tickets, but they had tickets. So they come down here to watch the Yankees play the Royals in the playoffs, and I don't know who won or whatever, but obviously the Yankees prevailed in that year. But anyway, they found this place in the mall, Indian Springs Mall, and which is now it's torn down and it's basically just a parking lot right now. But back then it was happening, and it was only open for about 3 years, I think. And they found a place right at the entrance of the mall. I mean, the main entrance of the mall to the left, boom, right there. Prime spot, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they made a deal, and next thing you know it, we're both families, the Avaluto family and ourselves are both moving from Brooklyn, New York. They were in Queens, I think. And anyway, we're moving here. They opened up a restaurant, I think it was December of 76. I'm assuming, I think it was December of 76. They opened up Italian Delight. And it's literally a New York-style pizza joint, smack dab in the...
They did say people every day said they're never going to make it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
they were like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two guys from New York opening a pizza place. They're like, they're never going to make it.
It's real funny. It's kind of funny because I remember Dad saying this. He said people would ask him, do you know John Travolta? And what would Dad say? John Travolta, that's my cousin. That's my cousin, John Travolta. Because, I mean, back then, Travolta was really popular with Saturday Night Fever and Welcome Back, Kotter. And, oh, John Travolta? Oh, yeah, that's my cousin.
And they didn't have any credit or anything like that. Like, they said Roma Bakery actually let them
Roma
pay
Bakery.
them cash. They
Shameless
only had
plug.
cash.
Free plug.
So, yeah. And they tried to get apartments with cash, and everybody's like, oh, no, we're not dealing with these guys. They got to be mafia. But they just had cash, They didn't have any credit cards.
Literally. Seriously, our dad, this guy, he was a merchant marine, in Italy. In Italy, everybody has to do the Navy or the Army or whatever for 2 years. And I think they still do that today.
Yeah.
And as soon as Dad was done with that, he was a merchant marine, so he's been all over the world, and literally, that guy he's pretty frugal.
Yes.
That guy saves up. I mean, I'm telling you, there are spots in our backyard that he's probably buried money in there. You know, maybe under our deck. We got to think
You're
about
not
that.
supposed to
I mean,
know that.
seriously, you know. I mean, he literally, they
worked their asses off.
They worked
They
their
really
asses
did.
off since they
Yes.
were kids. I mean, literally, him and Joe, I'm sure, and saved up every penny.
They used to share a car. They
Yeah.
were off every other Sunday. That would be their day off.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
they
used
really-
to pick up employees. I remember this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We used to pick up, I'm saying we, because I was in the back of the car hanging out.
You were there.
You know, yeah.
I'm
And,
here.
Daniela was like 2 or 3 years old, you know, but I was like 4 or 5. I remember this shit. I mean,
He's like,
we
Danielle, you
literally-
weren't really there. You were so young that you weren't technically there, but I
Hey,
was there.
yeah. I'm in the back of the car. I'm talking, it's dead winter, and we're in the back of some old Impala. Because I think it was an Impala.
Yeah.
And we're picking up, and they're picking up employees and just taking them to work. High school kids. I mean, literally, probably underage, because I know one 14 years old. I know he's working there, you know. Later on becomes a police officer. But seriously, it was crazy. And they were doing anything they could to just keep this restaurant open. I mean, we didn't live in the projects, but we didn't live in the nicest place in Kansas City at the time, you know?
So like when they came here, I think it's funny that just business owners in general, when anytime people go out and like start a business, they go to do whatever they're going to do and they have a dream of something.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the world just shits on it, like just full speed, that everyone around you is like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then you look at where you guys are at now.
Yeah.
Oh,
That-
for sure. Yeah.
Like your dad now looks back at it as like, this is what I worked for. This is like, you guys have such a name. Like it's crazy how many people we talk to and like, like we work with marketing on like Italian Delight and they're like, what? Like, like that's a big, that's like a big deal. And it's like, you guys,
there are some people that don't know Italian Delight, you know, and I'll be like, oh my, that's weird to me.
Do you live under a rock?
You know, like, 'cause we've
Like,
been
how long
around
have
for
you been
so
here?
Well, is it
long.
45 years? I mean, we've been
Yeah.
around 45 years, right?
Probably
now.
Well,
maybe
yeah,
on
1977,
46.
So
Well, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I can't do any math.
technicalities.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We've had too many
We've
drinks.
been
been a
here
while.
long time.
Right now. Math isn't happening. So
So it sounds like it wasn't a case of they get here and it's just immediate out of the park success.
oh no,
They had to
no.
they had to grind it out for a while.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
that change at some point, or were they always just?
The way we lived, it didn't seem like it changed much.
well, he was just a guy that was like, we're gonna have this house and I'm gonna pay it.
Yeah.
Everything was about paying off. He wasn't about
The guy
Oh,
is
my
not
gosh.
about having credit.
no, like
No.
he's the guy that credit card companies hate because he has like this $20 bill, you know, and then he just pays. You know, he'll just use it sometimes. You know,
American
Yeah.
Express is never making any interest.
No,
on it.
no. American
making
Express
money off of him.
does not like him. No.
but we did go to Italy every other summer.
Okay.
And we would spend like the whole summer there, so I can't imagine that was cheap.
Yeah.
And he likes to stay in a hotel. He doesn't want to do things on people's time. He wants to do his own thing.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So,
yeah,
I
I mean,
mean-
it's like we never stayed with our aunts and uncles or anything like that. We'd
And
always
we ate at the hotel
we'd
3
ma-
times
I mean,
a day, so I can't
yeah.
imagine. He did spend money on that.
yeah, he would spend money on vacations.
Yeah.
You know,
but
or
that's about it.
whatever. But that's it's about it. I mean, we had our house, we had a place to live, we had food, you know, clothes, you know, the essentials. You know,
Yes.
nothing extravagant. You know.
So if you don't count the car rides going to pick up the employees, when did you like officially start working at the restaurant?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would beg him to take me to work. And now I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I was probably like 13
Okay.
and I only worked on the weekends.
His school
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
School's overrated.
I agree.
So she's a couple years after me. I was like 12. I was 12 years old. So in 7th grade, maybe.
Yeah.
7th grade. I remember Joe's son James. He was in 8th grade because he was a year older than me. So, we would get picked up after. I mean, we were going to a junior high, which is now everything's middle school.
But that's where I got picked up too.
Yeah, we were getting picked up in junior high school. Right after school, we'd get picked up, and we would go to work. And at least, gosh, I remember 3 days a week, and maybe even on Saturdays and Sundays. And if I had an 8th hour or detention, whatever.
I'm sure he had a lot of those.
I did have a lot of those. I'd have to now. Back then, I mean, this probably ages us a little bit. But back then, they were giving SWATs. Okay. I mean, like that's totally unheard of today. You know what I mean? But back then, back when I was in 7th and 8th grade, they're giving SWATs, and so it's like 2 SWATs or an 8th hour. I'd got to take the SWATs.
You have to.
If
You got
I
somewhere
had an
to be.
8th hour, he would know because they'd be waiting for me in the parking lot, like James's mom or whoever was driving at that time, and they'd have to wait, and then we'd be late, and they would know something. My dad would know that I had an 8th hour or detention. You know,
I feel like there's a lot of things we did in high school trying to make sure our parents didn't know about it after.
Well, yeah, right. And then me, I have no choice. I mean, I'm either going to work or So, and it's so funny because I don't even know if they call it 8th hour.
I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It might not be.
That's how often I had it.
Now they're like, if you're soft ass, like now these soft ass kids, they're like, well, I have to ride the bus, and that's the only way I get home. So I can't get on the bus, and then I don't get to get home. So I'm going to stay here till tomorrow.
Or that's what I'm saying. That's how often I'd have that choice. It's either you take an 8th hour or 2 SWATs.
Yeah.
And I even remember. Yeah, I guess I was such a bad kid, but I even remember what I'm pointing at the wall because I had to point. I had to be in that direction, and he goes, "Stare at the frog," and there was a picture or the monkey. There was a picture
monkey.
like monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
He had a freaking poster. Our principal had a poster of it. He goes, "All right, stare at the monkey." I knew it. Stare at the monkey. Boom, boom. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Then you can catch a ride to work. Nobody ever knew.
No, right. I'd be to work on time. My dad never knew. And then
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'd have to handle the mail.
Yeah.
I'd have to kind of figure out because they always said you probably didn't know this because you never got in trouble, square ass. But anyway, I'd have to check the mail sometimes, and sometimes my mom would, if she had mail, she'd kind of show me, and
That's definitely when you. Like,
okay, thanks, Mom.
I'm assuming Ricky was a pretty good kid in high school. Too.
I never had a detention or an 8th hour. No.
Yeah, me neither.
Not a single
I got
one.
like OSS back to back with ISS.
Oh yeah, OSS.
I was stacking them. Too, so I
was
was
like a combo.
I prefer the OSS,
Which
I never
work
got that.
more.
I got ISS, which was bullshit.
ISS
you have to
was
stay in school.
way worse.
Yeah,
But it's like I never had a problem with grades. Like I got great. Like I did well school wise, but it's just I had confrontation with other people, and it's just like I've never been someone to like put up with other people's shit, and it was just that's what it was. And my dad was all the time. He goes, "You just don't start this shit because as long as you're finishing shit, I'm fine with it."
yeah.
And then I'd be getting picked up from school with OSS or whatever, and they're like, my dad would be like, "I'll handle it." We go outside, and he's like, "Did they start it?" I was like, 100%. He goes, "All right, you're square."
Nice.
And he's like, "You're good to go." He's like,
Nice.
if I started it, then we had problems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't lie to him about it, but it was just like, same thing with grades and, not really grades, but like when they'd send out the mail stuff that I get in trouble in school for things that didn't escalate to a parent call. I'm like, gotta make sure I grab that in the mail.
Shit, now you can't get away with anything because it's
I know.
emailed.
Now it's email, text message. You got
Oh yeah.
mom's getting
Which
mom, dad
you know.
get text ASAP.
Oh yeah, even text messages. I mean, I don't know, but
So you first start out at the restaurant, is it like you go straight into making pizzas, or
No.
were you mopping floors, or
Hell
what?
no.
Dishwasher.
Okay,
I mean,
Yeah.
we did dishes by hand,
of course.
and my uncle worked for us at the time, and I'm never gonna forget this
Uncle
ever.
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle Nick, and he loved music, and that song that I don't know, Bing's Crosby, I think.
Bing
And
Crosby.
it's,
Yeah.
That Millie Kamiki Maka.
Oh, yeah. He
It's a
loved
Christmas
that shit.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, on repeat. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I'm doing the dishes, and that's all we're listening to over and over and over again. He loved music.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone now, and I miss that. You know, I think about
Yeah.
that, and that's a memory of him.
Yeah,
But,
Uncle Nick
oh
always.
my God.
You know, he always played music in the back, right? He always, but it was always him.
Singing.
It was him singing.
That was,
So he was listening to himself. I mean, it's classic, man.
yeah.
Like that was the music he was playing.
He was playing his own music.
He
He was
sings.
playing
That's
himself.
awesome.
Yeah,
But during Christmas time was that Bing's Crosby
yeah,
song.
he did. He did
And,
that. Or Elvis? Didn't he do Elvis? Blue
Elvis too,
Christmas.
but
yeah.
The mall, and that was during Christmas time, and the mall
In the
was
mall.
like,
Yeah,
that's when the malls were so busy for
Yeah.
Christmas.
yeah. Back then,
Oh my gosh.
the December in the mall.
I mean,
right
that's-
after Thanksgiving in the mall.
Before
mall business
online shopping,
was
pretty
yeah.
much.
I think
Yeah,
we should
yeah,
bring that
before
back.
online.
Yeah.
I think we should bring
Dude,
I loved
malls
it.
back because
Yeah.
there's nothing that like. I remember Metro North Mall.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember
the
Retro
big
North.
big
yeah.
deals going up and down in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
That like I feel like there's people now that don't see the significance
Oh,
of
no.
Christmas anymore.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I remember waiting in line there to see Santa Claus and like
Yes.
as a kid and getting
Yeah.
to go around and Christmas shop for all of my family. And,
Yeah.
like all these things that the significance of the mall was something so big.
Yes.
Oh, the mall was a big deal. I mean, because
Indian
with
Springs was
us,
a big
Indian
deal.
Springs was a big deal. I mean, I literally, my dad wouldn't leave me home when I was a kid. So after we were here for
He's
a
like,
while.
he's going to burn the place down. 100%.
Oh yeah, shit no. And that guy would not leave me home, and my dad would have
Well,
totally
because then we
attest
were
to this.
always fighting, so he was just trying to.
Her and I were always. I toughened her up though. She's pretty tough, but and you can thank me for that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Taking all credit for that one.
I'll take the credit for that. But anyway, so yeah, I would terrorize our home. You know, so my dad during the holiday. When we were off school or whatever, even in the summertime, especially in the summertime, but
Oh, yeah.
but during the holiday season, I totally remember Indian Springs. So the mall, my dad would just let me run around the mall, and everybody in the mall knew who I was. They knew I was Frank's son. So it was kind of like the mall was my babysitter.
Yeah.
And Dad wasn't worried about me. You know, he wasn't worried because normally I would hang out with friends that I knew that I've made in the mall or that I knew from school that happened to be there with their parents or whatever. But all the workers in the mall knew that I was Frank's son. And they had
And
this.
everybody loved Frank.
Oh, everybody loved Frank.
Yeah,
I mean,
that helped.
That does
Yeah.
sound-
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know
my-
Frank, but from the short
dude.
period you have explained Frank,
Oh,
Dude,
I feel like I would
you'll
love
never
Frank.
meet anybody like him.
no,
ever.
that guy, our dad, seriously, he's a classic.
Yeah,
I mean,
he really
he is. Yeah, you'll never meet somebody like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's totally a unique person, very unique,
Yes.
and his voice is so freaking unique.
Yes.
But anyway, so I would run around that mall, and they had this huge Christmas tree. I remember you probably. I don't know if you remember this because he left you at home because I was terrorizing you guys. So you and Mom and
You're like
Sabrina
at
would
home
stay
reading
home.
books or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
probably.
whatever they're doing, that's totally innocent.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm running around the mall, and they have this huge Christmas tree in this mall, and it was a talking Christmas tree.
Oh shoot, I don't.
And I would
remember that.
spend hours sitting there talking because I really thought it was really talking.
You're like,
It
I
wasn't-
got to go hang out with the tree.
Yeah. It wasn't just a speaker inside the tree and somebody in the mall office sitting there just screwing with me. Hey, how you doing, kid? And I'm like, what's going on? You know, and I'm sitting there
Tell me the
talking to this
secrets.
tree for hours. So, yeah. So that was something that was kind of
That's
cool.
awesome.
But I mean, I spent a lot of time in that mall. I mean, Halloween was great too.
Oh, Halloween was awesome.
Yeah, Halloween. So our parents would take us up to the mall, and probably a lot of kids our age
Yeah.
were up at the mall. So the mall would actually give us candy, would give the restaurant candy.
Yes.
So and I don't know if we
pass out.
purchased it or anything.
know.
I think the mall like gave every store in the mall like a bag of candy, and so every Halloween the kids would come out and just go to every shop in the mall, which at the time was about probably at least 100
Oh, wow.
100 or so shops.
That sounds like a lot of candy.
It was a lot of candy. Yeah. But I mean, that was how cool the mall was back
Yeah,
in the
it was
day.
really
So,
cool.
how long were you guys in the mall?
Oh yeah.
So since we closed in 2010.
Oh, shit.
December-
Oh.
November of 2010.
Yeah.
We were one of the last places in there.
No, Daniela, we
Wait,
were
2010.
we were.
literally the last place.
Oh, okay.
In
Yeah,
that
I
mall.
thought you were saying yes.
No, it was 2010. Yeah.
Well, there was a police station downstairs.
Okay. Well.
I mean, so that's
Well,
not.
no one's going.
That's not
no
like
one's wanting to go see that place.
retail. Yeah. Retail wise.
We were the last.
We were the last
Yeah.
retail.
The people seeing the police station were not voluntary customers.
Oh shit! They put that police station in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
So,
try to keep the mall going. Actually.
They actually were. We had to relocate because they were tearing down the mall.
Oh yeah. So it was
or
just
else
like
we'd still be there.
you
maybe.
guys were in there, and then it was just empty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried to talk my dad. God
don't know
bless
why
him.
we
I mean,
waited that
I've talked to him for years. Said, Dad, we got to move. We got to find somewhere. We got to move. This mall is gonna get. He's like, he's always had some excuse like, we'll wait till the school comes out because they had District 500 there for a long time, like the
The KCK Public Schools.
KCK Public Schools
Yeah.
offices.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
At first it was a call center. There was a
Yeah.
call center over there. And he's like, we wait till the call center's out, and then, well, he didn't even call it a call center. We just wait till the place is gone.
Just wait till everyone's gone.
We wait till they go, then they get kicked out, and then I'm like, Dad, everything's gone, man.
Nobody comes
There's
in here.
nothing here.
Yeah.
But people were still coming in.
Yeah.
We still had customers. And then and District 500 was there. And they had probably 100, maybe a couple hundred employees.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
like,
we
Dad.
had a good lunch business.
Yeah, we had a good lunch
Yeah.
business because it was local.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that, and then there was also local people in town that still knew we were there, so they're still coming. But I mean, once it was past 6 o'clock, I mean, we're the only car in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
I mean, we've had customers probably from day one still coming now.
oh, we do.
I mean, if people try your pizza, like it kind of speaks for itself. Like
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
we were talking before we even started that like I'm not a big pizza fanatic, and when we went the first time, you guys brought this huge pizza, and it's a large pizza. Ricky and I are sitting there, we're like, that's way too much. I'm not gonna eat all that. Fast forward like 30 minutes, we're like finishing the pizza, and I'm like, not being a pizza person, that is phenomenal pizza.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
I think that speaks volumes, and that's why people come and then they keep coming
Yeah.
back. I wish you guys could have kept the whole mall open by yourself and just had the biggest
Wow.
Italian delight ever.
Well, we kind of did. I mean, you mean,
You
turn
probably
Italian delighted to the mall, right?
you probably were driving a lot of business into the mall.
Yeah,
though.
well, that was it for a while.
People come in and jog
That was
around
the
Gosh,
the
I
lap.
mean, we've literally seen every. I mean, gosh, I'm talking Macy's to Dillard's to J.C. Penney's. I mean, Montgomery Ward's
Yeah.
to having like 10 theaters. We had like back then. There was a
AMC 30.
AMC put like AMC 6 theaters downstairs, and to have 6 theaters, or no, was it 12?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But it was like the first, from what I remember. Now I could be wrong, but it was like one of the first theaters that had leather seats. At that mall. And that was like the coolest thing
was this?
in the world, man.
Because that's a pretty new thing.
Dude, this was like
That was.
it was like
We're feeling really old.
I know
right now.
we're
I'm like,
old.
oh my god!
It was like in the 80s, man.
Dang.
You
So
know?
it was like pretty cutting edge then.
Oh, it was totally.
I remember
cutting
going
edge.
to places in like high school. They still had like the red. You walk.
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
like,
the red cloth seats.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude,
they're
I'm
so
talking-
uncomfortable.
This place had like freaking leather seats. I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I think I've seen Gremlins there, like back in the day.
Did you see Star Wars?
I don't know how many Friday the 13th.
Or no?
Empire, Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
This is cool. Is a little after Empire Strikes Back, but Return of the Jedi, I've seen it. Oh no, Empire Strikes Back was there because I recall I saw it like 11 times. This is how often, and I counted this shit.
Yeah.
Because this is how my dad. I mean, every weekend I'd spend my time at Italian Delight, sneaking drinks to my friends. You know.
I had the wrong friends.
And my dad would just be pissed. You know, it was like, it's a drink, Dad. Or maybe when he's in the back yelling at my uncle, or my uncle yelling at him, and I'm back there, I'm filling drinks, running out. Yeah.
I feel like I really missed a large portion of Kansas City not being at this mall.
It sounded like it
Oh,
was
it
a place
was
to
a
be.
place to be. It really was.
awesome.
I remember like, I mean, I don't know if Metro North or anything was like relevance of
Oh,
the
well,
North.
yeah. Metro
Like,
North is
Metro
a lot
North was like,
it.
and I
Yeah.
remember going there even. I don't want to say as I got older. I was probably like,
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I had been probably like 13 or something, 12. Like
Yeah.
as I'm going in there and everything's like closed and there's like a
Yeah.
GNC that you don't know how they stay open.
Right,
And there's
right.
like
Yeah, yeah.
there's like a wig place in there and
Yeah.
then like that's
Wig City.
Yeah, there's a wig
City.
place, GNC and Macy's. I'm like, wow. I'm like,
Okay,
I'm like
so,
looking
yeah,
at my dad trying to understand
I do.
how business
I'm a little
works.
older, so I mean, but we grew up like during the heyday of the mall.
But I think
You
Indian
know?
Springs was one of the first. It was a big deal. Like it was like one of the first malls.
It was. Yeah, I think it
somebody
was.
Told me that.
Would that
Yeah.
be like a? Do you think like 2000 was like height of it?
Oh, no.
No.
No, before that.
2000 was the.
It was done
going
by
down.
2000, dude.
I don't know
shit.
how we stayed there that long.
No, yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, because we stayed through 2010, which was
Yeah.
it was a miracle.
you don't
in
think
itself.
2000 was
I mean, the
peak? 'Cause-
pizza's got to
no.
speak for itself when you're like in some shitty mall. At the end of its, I mean, it was gone, man. And the mall was great though. Like in the 80s,
Oh, my
the
God,
height of the mall
I feel
was
like
probably
now-
83, 84.
My perception of Metro North isn't even that great.
Yeah,
like
you were
somebody else
that was
got
probably the
experienced
tail
it
end.
probably 10 years before me that
Oh,
said it's like
yes.
1,000 times
Oh
better.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Even
because-
Oak Park Mall now is not like it used
Oh,
to be.
no.
I used to love going there.
Oh, no, we used to literally do all our school shopping. All that stuff was in the mall.
Yeah.
KG Men's,
Uh-huh.
or there was all kinds of places.
My biggest
man.
problem with the mall nowadays is you go in there and it is like, I went there probably 2-3 years ago was the last time I've been there.
Yeah, see,
And it was the most negative fucking human beings I've ever met on the planet.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
The most cranky people I have ever met. And
Yeah.
I walked out and I told Madison, like I was there with her, and I was like, I never want to go back to that place.
Yeah.
I was like, I have never seen so many fucking negative people in
That's
in
what
one
I'm saying.
place
Yeah.
before, and I'm like, I just don't remember that
Dude.
as a kid.
Yeah.
back then it was so
Like-
happy.
Oh,
It
it's
was.
Such a,
I mean,
oh,
it was
it's
like when E.T. was famous, and
Yeah.
I feel like it
Yeah.
was like movies, like
yeah,
It
movies
was
was a big
something-
Like,
deal, man.
remember,
I
like,
mean,
when movies-
Ghostbusters, that kind of shit. I mean, it was like
Okay.
it was a thing.
a major movie would come out. We would know at a Time to Light, we're busy.
Yeah,
Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills. I mean, I remember that shit. Beverly Hills Cop was out.
Renee,
We
what
were
was that?
slammed.
What was that mall movie that we just watched? Or I just watched it. It was about a mall that went down. It was literally. It could have been.
Oh
Indian
yeah,
Springs. What was that
I
movie?
forgot what that was.
God, it was on Hulu.
Was that a
or-
movie? It was a documentary. Wasn't it? It was a
Documentary.
documentary.
now I want to watch
And
this.
it is. That's Indian Springs right there. That
it
I
had the
gotta
word
figure it-
mall in it.
Yeah,
the
it's actually a
documentary.
mall that's somewhere in
Was it Indiana?
Missouri, I thought. I
Was it
don't know.
Missouri? Whatever. Well,
If you watch
it seemed like it was a Midwest.
that's what Indian Springs looked like at the end.
Dude, I mean, seriously, it was hopping. And that was the thing. I mean, seriously, we would go out on dates. Like I would meet somebody there. Hey, yeah, see if your parents would drop you off, and we'll go see a movie.
I'm already going to be there.
Right. Or we'd have my uncle, my Aunt Maria from, we would ask her, hey, could you drop us off, please? Could you take us to the mall? And me and James and
because our mom didn't
our
drive,
cousin
so
Nick, she'd
we had
take
to
us
try
to the
to
mall.
find rides.
We had to find rides. And little did we realize, it seemed so far away, but it was only like 7 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe
It was
when we were
amazingly,
little.
because I remember I timed it before. It's like 7 minutes. And we were acting like it was the end of the world for somebody to drop us off at the mall. You know what I mean? But
you can tell they come from like a city type atmosphere because where I was at, nothing was like really 7 minutes away. So,
Oh yeah.
Nothing. Literally
at
nothing.
Clay Center, I don't even want to imagine how far things were away from you.
Hey, closest Walmart's 45 minutes.
Oh no, I couldn't. Do that.
Like
I
they,
have to have something close.
Ricky and all of his friends were out fighting with sticks. Like
yeah.
There was nothing to do.
Oh no.
yeah.
Yeah, no, those were the good old days.
That was a good time, man.
Yeah.
So you finally have to move out of the mall, not by choice, but more.
Yeah.
There's nothing else there.
No, we have no choice.
Shit's getting
We gotta
leveled.
move.
You got to
yeah.
leave.
Yeah, really. That's what they said. I
Yes.
mean, that's what's going to happen.
And then we found that location.
Yeah.
I lived in KCK all my life. I'd never been over to that area. I was like, how have I never been over
Yeah,
there?
no, I knew the location because I hooked Dad up with that.
Yeah.
Me and Dad in the what do you call it? The
Property man.
property.
Yeah,
Well, we had a guy that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
We sent somebody out to find us
Yeah.
spots, and so
Bringing back some options.
yes, and in 2 years, I think it was 2 years before, I went to Dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, this place is closing." It was it was a sandwich place. I said, "Dad, this place is closing. We could totally take this spot over," and he's like, "Well, I gotta wait for the school to leave."
So that was
That's
after
what
the,
he said.
That was after the call center then? Or were they there at the same time?
That was after the call center, and District 500 was in the mall. He goes, "I gotta wait for the school to leave." I'm like, "Dad, they're not waiting for you, man.
Somebody's got to
really-
feed them lunch.
They're not waiting for you. I mean, you're gonna." And then anyway, so 2 years later, that place was still up for rent. The sandwich place left.
2 years later?
Yeah. 2 years later, the sandwich place left. I mean, I went as far as going to Nebraska Furniture Mart, and I was negotiating with those guys. And I was literally negotiating with Nebraska Furniture Mart, say, "Hey, we can put an Italian Delight in here." And they were like, "Well, we want to go with somebody. We want to go with somebody that's not local. We want to go with a franchise,
chain. Sure.
a
Yeah.
chain." Remember that?
Yeah,
Neil?
because they put Quiznos in there. I
They
think.
put Quiznos in there, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, they told us to kick rocks, and we went to. I went to
We looked around at Legend.
the Legends, and they were wanting so much money per square foot.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad's like, "No, I'm not doing that." And so we went back to that place, and they had the spot was still there, so we took it, and the rest is history. I mean, we've been there 12 years, and we're rocking and rolling, and it's working out. We've actually expanded. Since
January.
in January we expanded because we needed more room to make pizzas. So now we added 2 extra pizza ovens, another pizza guy, and being
Tyler.
my brother-in-law who's amazing, and we're rocking and rolling over there, man.
I love
it's
it.
going great.
So obviously, I've only been over there since the expansion. I don't know how you guys did it before.
No, I don't
I
know.
don't know how we did it.
It's-
I really don't.
It's busy in there with the expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand how we did that, all working in that one area.
Oh, it was crazy. It was ridiculous.
Nobody was
I mean,
happy, that's for sure.
No, we were bumping into each other. And
Very
customers are saying hi to me, and I can barely talk to them because it's like, hey, and then I have to turn my back and make pizzas, and now I can at least look forward, and say hi to customers
while you're tossing the pizza.
Wow,
You'll be talking at the same time.
At the same time, and it's great. It's fantastic.
I think it was probably one of the craziest things I've seen. What time do you guys open?
10:30.
No.
Oh my God, am I saying the old time?
The old time.
I'm sorry.
We open up at we open at 11. She's talking about the mall days.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
The mall
I know.
days we
I don't
open
know
up at
why.
10:30. Yeah.
You open at 11, and I remember showing up there, and that's why I don't remember what time we showed up, like the first day that we're doing content. And we're doing content, and it's probably like 10:50.
It was like well before.
Yeah.
It's like probably 10 minutes before you like
and
opening.
people are waiting.
And we got people at the door.
And I'm like parked like right in front. I'm like, hey, are these like people looking to like mess with my truck? Oh, what's happening out there? And then all of a sudden there's like
come in.
there's like more of them. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I look at Tyler. I'm like, hey, dude, like, what's up with all the people outside? He's like, this is every day when we open.
Every
I'm
day.
like-
Every day.
I go, what?
They're literally just sitting there waiting.
I'm like,
for the
they're
doors to
waiting for
open.
the doors to open. I'm like,
Yep.
get out of here. I'm like, this is
I mean, there'll be cars that pull up at 10:30 and they just wait.
yeah.
No, literally 10:30. Yeah.
You know, and then I start
And they'll just
feeling
wait
the
a half hour.
pressure.
So they're probably on the phone,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
doing whatever they're doing, and they just know that we're open at 11. They'll call in their order, and
Yeah.
it'd be ready at 11.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was just like mind blown.
Oh, shit. That's every day. That's normal.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there talking to Tyler like as he's working on everything. He's like, yeah, this is just every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
every day you just have like the door unlocked and people just come bum rushing in.
Oh, it's
I'm
every
like-
day.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
for
like
sure.
I'm like, just like that.
And
Oh,
right
yeah.
at, if you don't open right at 11, people are pulling on the door. You know, I'm like, okay, like,
You hear it.
Goose.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, give it a break. It's 11:01.
Daniela is like my dad too.
I
She's
am.
like,
I'm so-
she's like my dad. She's like, we got 7 minutes to go. You know, it's 10:53 or whatever, and open the doors. I'm like, no,
No,
just like,
I
people
need
are
those
waiting.
7
Like,
minutes. I'm here all day. I'm here for 9 freaking hours or 12 hours. I need those 7 minutes.
give me 7 more minutes.
And
of
Give me
peace.
7 more minutes to breathe.
I
Come
know,
on.
and none of the.
Daniela's like, open the door, let's go. It's 10:30. Open the door.
My dad used to do that, and it would drive me crazy. And now
And now she does it.
I do
That's
everything my
a
dad
does.
spitting
Now.
image right there.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
thi-
Frank.
The thing is, you open like 2 minutes early on Monday, and then they're like, "Oh, we get in at 10:58." Then
No.
Tuesday rolls around, you open 2 minutes earlier.
I'm
I
like,
know.
dude, just wait till 11. I need these 3 minutes, whatever it is, 2
Renee,
minutes.
It's 3 minutes.
I know. And she says that. And that's
You know
that's
the
it.
crazy thing? I was
Every time.
I was that person at Panda Express like 2 weeks ago on a Sunday. I'm like, I'm so hungover, and I show up. I'm like, they open at 10:30, and I pull in the parking lot. There's cars everywhere. I'm like, what are all these people doing? And I pull in the drive-through, and then everyone follows me right in like they were waiting.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Yes.
It's like 2 minutes before I'm sitting at the deal, and no one says a word. Just quiet. I'm just sitting there. I'm like,
Dude,
I'm like playing on my phone. All of a sudden, someone's like, "Hello, how can we help you?" At 10:30
Oh my
on the
God.
dot.
I need those 3 minutes,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I need them. Daniela's like, fucking open up 10 minutes
I know.
early.
I
Everything's ready. I'm like, I'm not ready.
Yeah, I don't care if the food's ready.
Ready yet. Everything's ready. It's all out here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not ready.
Yeah, I'm
Just
meditating in the
let
back
me
right
breathe.
Still
Let me
taking my
breathe a
deep
minute.
breaths.
Give it 5 minutes. It's cool. Daniela, they'll still be here.
I
But
don't know.
that's Frank.
I know.
That's my dad
I'm like,
right there.
everything my dad. I'm like, oh my god, I am my dad.
I say, yeah, that sign on the front's a big picture of my dad. I say, that's Daniela in 20 years. What are you talking about? See that picture up front? It's my dad, you know? That's her in 20 years.
So you guys obviously get a ton of engagement on like everything that gets posted on your page, and every time I'll go through and I'll read through the comments and stuff, and it seems like every time there's somebody that says, "Hey, come back to Shawnee,"
Everybody says it. Yes.
but
Oh,
that's
yeah. But-
that was sort of separate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, it's totally separate.
They
Well,
opened
not
it together.
totally. I mean, but our dad, the
They're brother and
Was
sister.
that your dad too? Was that your dad?
What
too?
a coincidence.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! Would you look at that?
Yeah, so that was Joe Avellino. So our dad and Joe Avellino, they are the founders of Italian Delight. They founded it. They opened up the original location in Indian Springs, and then they later opened up the Mission location.
In 86, maybe.
No, it was like
84?
80. No, it was like 82 or something.
Okay.
81, 82.
84, 85, 86.
Technicalities.
Yeah, whatever.
A few
Technicalities.
years later.
Yeah.
Early
years later.
80s.
Ballpark.
Gosh. Well, she's a little younger than me, so she doesn't remember it as clearly. But anyway, they opened it up and in like 82 or whatever, 81. And so they had both locations for a while. And then by the time when we grew up, I was like a freshman. We always had a boss. Our boss was Joe Avellino's son, John, he was the older guy. He was the older Avellino. You know, he was the older one of all of us kids. He was the older one, so he was our boss. And our dads, my dad and his dad, literally kicked his ass in the restaurant business. And so they kicked his ass. In turn, he kicks my ass and
he never kicked my ass because I was
no, because Daniela's
I listened. I did what I was supposed to do.
Daniela,
Renee had to be.
But it was James and I, you know. So we were, and James is Joe Avellino's middle son, who's more my age.
So you guys are like on the same level.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My brother from another mother. Really, literally, James and I love him. I still talk to him all the time. I love him. And so anyway, John was the older brother, who's 5 or 6 years older than Wes. And like I said, our dads kicked his ass. So in return, he kicks our ass. He's our boss. And so anyway, so by the time I was a freshman, John was already graduated. James is a year older than me. And our dads decide, hey, why don't one of us take one restaurant, the other one take the other restaurant. We just run them whichever way we want to run them, you know. And
Didn't they draw straws for it? Or
well, I mean, yeah,
that's the story.
The story is
I don't know what the
I don't know what the truth
Hey,
is.
to be fair, there was a sandwich shop in Brooklyn, so I'm feeling that the story
have been a
is
you know, I was
legitimacy is pretty square right now.
I was like thinking my dad just worked at that sandwich shop. No, he freaking owned it. He was
we
one of the
didn't really
owners.
know.
I thought, you know,
He found the paperwork.
it's
so-
true. It's true. I have it. We should frame that shit.
I know.
You should.
You should.
So anyway, one takes the Mission location, one takes the Indian Springs location, and we took the Indian Springs location, and so that was like 1989, I think, or 1990. It was around that time.
Yeah.
And so Italian Delight ran by two different families, one in the Mission location, one in Indian Springs, just ran totally separate. And so, you know, they recently closed, was it a couple
Well,
years
yeah,
now?
because he was saying that people see the Shawnee comments.
Yeah.
Like, come back to Shawnee or open, you know.
Yeah, no, and you know, literally, yeah, we shared the name, we just ran them separately.
So did you guys run a lot of the same like recipes and things like that?
Some, yeah.
But they had a lot of specialty items that we didn't have,
Yeah.
and we probably couldn't carry over there. It's just not.
It
the
just
same.
wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work in our
Customer
our area.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I feel like you guys have a lot of specialty items too, though. Like,
Yeah, we do.
because when we came there, I know we spoke about the phenomenal pizza, but I also had probably one of the best like Phillies I've ever had in my life.
That one was
yeah.
a curveball for me.
Now
I
our
was very
Phillies are
surprised.
pretty
You know,
bomb.
we didn't have those at Indian Springs.
No, we didn't.
And then we got that stove that had a grill.
Well, I
And they were
told
like-
Dad. I mean, I'm not taking credit for it. but
Yeah.
I told Dad.
He's taking credit for it.
I told Dad. I said, Dad, we got to have Phillies.
Yeah.
So you need to when we get a stove, you got to
Yeah.
have a flat top on it so we can
Yeah.
make Phillies because people like Phillies.
They do.
And our
We will
Phillies are
get-
bomb, man. They really
Yeah.
are.
And there's a place that opened up, Pepper Jacks,
Yeah.
that specialized in Philly cheesesteaks, and they sucked. Like,
That's what my sons
We would
always
smoke
say.
them.
They
We
would
would
be
smoke
like,
them. I mean,
all day
and
long.
we're Italian
Yeah.
delight. I mean, it's not like our specialties of Philly.
Yeah.
like
Our specialty is pizza and lasagna. You
I'm
know what I
pretty
mean?
sure
And
Pepper Jack's
Strombolis.
has closed everywhere in the
Yeah.
Northland.
Really?
But I would
Yeah,
have
they've-
definitely done
they were-
a good Instagram reel on comparing a Pepper Jack's Philly to your guys'.
Night and day.
Yeah,
It,
our
like-
Phillies are kick ass.
They
man. They
are.
really do.
Yeah.
And then I came up with this other sandwich, because I used to make this. I used to make this sandwich for myself. We call it it's the Italian steak. Now, typically in Kansas City, in the Midwest, they think an Italian steak is like breaded, a big
that's
piece of
what it
breaded
is here,
steak,
yeah.
because it is. Well, we're East Coast style. You know what I mean? We're New York style. I mean, we New York style pizza. Might as well make New York style sandwiches or some. Anyway. So I take a Philly cheesesteak, and what I do is I take the steak and I grill it with our sauce. I marinate it in our spaghetti sauce, which is bomb, right? Right? You're gonna
just
me hanging?
whoa! Do it like that.
She's too interested in her drink, man. I'm like sis.
He was about to fist bump
Wonder
himself
twins,
over
Wonder
it.
twins,
Yeah.
right? Wonder twin powers.
I don't know
Boom.
what you were talking about. Okay.
Anyway, so I take the Italian steak, I marinate it in our sauce, and I grill it on our grill, right? Along with our sausage roll onions, which is marinated onions. And we marinate our onions on our own. I mean, we chop them up, we grill them, we marinate them. And so I take the Italian steak and I saute it in our sauce along with the sausage roll onions, and then put a couple of pieces of mozzarella cheese on there, a little dash of oregano, and put that on our Philly bun. Dude, it's bomb.
When Renee made up that sandwich, I was like, "What the hell?"
What are you
like
doing?
another
Dude.
sandwich, but it is really good.
You know, my
I-
mouth is watering over here right now, and I'm thinking about what is for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
I'm thinking about what I'm having for lunch tomorrow
So I
because
was
I
like-
already know.
I was like, we got to put this on the menu, man.
Yeah.
So it's our Italian steak sandwich.
Yes.
I mean, it's our grilled Italian
Yes,
steak sandwich.
because-
It's not our fried patty.
Yeah.
Because a lot
I've
of
never
people get
had
that
one
mixed
here,
up with a
but
fried
that's
patty.
what- yeah.
No, it's our grilled. So I had to put the grilled in front of the Italian steak.
Yeah.
Which
Now,
I
that's a bomb ass sandwich too.
I think everything I've had there is pretty bomb. And last time when we were there last time, Tyler was telling us about like all the additional dough and then making these garlic knots.
Oh yeah, that's another
like-
thing.
He goes,
yeah.
you need to try one of these. And I
Okay.
tried one. I'm like, that is like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be very upfront. I haven't done crack, but if I did crack, I feel like it has something to do.
Those
it'd be
garlic
very
knots are
similar
good,
to
man.
garlic knots.
Daniela,
I know.
those garlic
Okay,
knots are good.
I gotta go to the restroom.
Go for it.
Go for
I-
it.
For it. Just
You-
pull the headphones. Pull the headphones.
Yeah, you can't. The cord won't make it to the bathroom.
yeah.
No. When we were there last time, we got those garlic knots, and I eat like one, and I'm like, I could probably eat 40 of these. I'm probably
Okay.
gonna feel a little shitty afterwards, but they are.
Oh
like-
yeah, I can eat them too. And so the thing about the garlic knots, all right, some funny shit. That dough, I mean, we literally that's excess dough. I mean, it's excess dough that we would throw away or whatever, and or we would just make ourselves garlic knots. I'm like, dude, let's figure out a way, man. I mean, these are good. We could totally give this, to the customers. We could sell this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's delicious. And so, yeah, then we came up with a garlic knots recipe, and rest is history, man. I mean, that was like calzone dough.
See, now I'm ready for
No,
like
literally. Or
sandwiches tomorrow, garlic knots.
Garlic
like,
knots,
I
little
mean-
side of marinara sauce.
I'm gonna have to make sure I get extra marinara because there's nothing worse than running out of marinara.
Hell yeah. And we got plenty of it. And we make that fresh, man. I mean, we make the marinara sauce, the meatballs, we make everything. I mean, it's crazy. So it actually turned out 45 years. I mean, I'm pretty proud of the old man. He's come a long way, man. I'm talking from everything I've seen and everything I know. When we go back to visit Italy, I mean, they're not the richest group of cousins or aunts and uncles. You know what I mean? They have actually. I mean, they were World War II. I mean, they came up through World War II, and in World War One. I mean, they're not the, still our cousins today. They don't have a whole lot, and for our dad to just come through, a poor part of Italy, South Italy, and to do what he did, that takes a lot of hard work and dedication, man.
I think it's pretty cool when you watch like a story that we had someone on the podcast, 3-4 weeks ago, that he came from from Africa.
Yeah.
And comes over and what he has like turned his life into, that I think is so crazy that I think about where my life started to now is, a matter of 10 miles.
Yeah.
And you look at someone that started halfway across the world.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, I'm going to up and move my family across the world. And I'm going to go start something. And I'm going to start on one half of the United States. And I'm going to travel halfway across the United States and try something else and then turn it into something is like
exactly,
the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. They were literally Italian immigrants. My dad and the Avoluto family. They were Italian. They're from the old country. Speaking Italian, had to learn to speak English. A whole nother language, which our dad does speak English, but we have to translate it. But they've come a long way, man.
Oh yeah.
And for us to keep that going, it's a big deal. We take a lot of pride in that.
I think it speaks volumes too when you guys are at your store and just seeing the employees that are there. You see the culture that's there. You see all of it. All of it just it runs the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Everyone's working their asses off.
We have awesome employees.
And we do. Our employees, we're pretty old school on that, man. Our employees, we know their parents, and it was always kind of like,
Everybody's like, when can they start working here? And then they get older and they start working there.
Well, it used to be like we would hire our friends.
Yes.
Danielle and I, we would hire our friends. Now we're hiring our friends' kids. And then when we start hiring our friends' friends' kids, grandkids, we're done, man.
Yeah.
As soon as that first grandkid comes through, that's why you're like, whoa.
Yeah. First our friends, then our friends' kids, and then when it's our, their kids, we're done, man.
Yeah.
That we've been in it way too long. So,
because I'll be helping people now, and I'll be like, they have grandbabies, and I'm like, oh my God, how old am I?
Yeah.
That you are bringing in your grandbaby.
And I hear stories. Of dad. When dad says, when people have come in there and they're about to pop. They're pregnant.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, tonight's the night. You eat this. Yeah, you're gonna. And how many times have we heard? Yeah, your dad said if I eat Italian Delight, I'm going to have a kid the next day. You know what I mean? And it happened. You know what I mean? How many times have we heard that?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of, it's pretty cool. And then, you look and you think about the years of customers that have come through there and now their children, and then it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's a great thing, man.
It really is. And I'm beyond thankful to be a part of, to be able to even have a hand in anything that's involved with it. I'm once again beyond thankful that our paths have crossed to put us here and to have you on the podcast, everything like that. So we've kind of went through the progression from the beginning to the very end of where we're at now. One of the things that we kind of always kind of wrap up the podcast with, it's always probably the most loaded question that I'll ask both of you guys is
she's got to answer it.
Oh no.
You both get
Both
an answer.
individually. You can draw straws to see who answers
Draw
first.
straws.
Oh, yeah.
Who answers first? If you could go back to your 20-year-old self, what is one thing that you would tell yourself to change your future?
No.
See, this is where we always get kind of crickets. We silent pretty quick.
I do hate that back in the day I had this big chip on my shoulder all the time at work. I might have a little bit of that still.
No.
But and kind of my oldest son is the same way, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't be like that.
Is this like Frank number 3?
He could be Frank number 3.
He could be, yeah, but he's his own guy.
Yeah, but you know, I just like getting mad about everything. I got so mad about everything, and people couldn't do everything right. And
Yeah.
Maybe I was just too. I just wanted to do everything the way it was supposed to be done. I'm still that way.
She doesn't know any other way, though.
No,
Yeah.
but I still have my ways that I like things to be done, even though I've been doing them. There's some things I don't like to change, you know?
Yeah.
And I show people
Frank.
a certain way.
Frank.
That is Frank. Frank's not good with change. Daniela's not good with change. The only
but-
difference is I'm sorry, not
But
to.
no, I'm kind of particular how I like things to be done. So when I show people like, okay, this is the way you're doing it. You're going to see everybody else do something different. This is the way I like you to do it, even though it changes and goes back to whatever everybody else is doing.
No, I'd prefer them do it your way.
But
I feel like that was a huge compliment there.
Yeah. No.
But back, I just wish I wasn't like that. Like I had a huge chip on my shoulder and everybody sucked, and you know? And now I just kind of like I just wish I wasn't like that. That's my thing.
But you're not. You're better now.
I'm
I mean, for sure.
He's like,
You go with the
definitely
flow a little bit
Yeah,
better
but,
now. I
you know,
mean,
they were saying like back
Yeah.
then how I would have liked
Yeah.
to have been.
back then, like last year, you mean?
So that's what something I try to tell like my son, like, hey, don't worry about what
Yeah,
everybody
now you
else is
see
doing.
it.
Do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
So,
now you
yeah.
kind of see it. I mean, because
Yeah.
dad is a little bit of a hard ass,
Yes.
and you know, you're
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
probably
you
the hard
you were a
ass
little bit
of
of a hard ass. I
Italian
mean, you're a lot better now. You
Yeah.
kind of get it.
I'm
that
still a hard ass.
yeah, but you're still.
I still like things done my way, but you're not always going to.
I don't think that's always a bad thing. Like I feel like that is a
Yeah.
good thing. Like
Yeah.
No, it is a good thing.
I mean, that was easier to do when you had like a few employees. Now we have like
now we have like
so
30,
many, and
so it's
I
like
can't have it all. So I was like, I'll deal with.
yeah.
I'll just
And plus,
do
you have Tyler and I to kind of
Yeah.
offset a little bit.
they can be the bad guys.
Yeah, they're never the bad
Oh.
guys. It's always me.
What are you talking about? I'm always the bad guy. Everybody loves you.
Nobody loves. Okay, now
Oh.
we're going into this.
Well, okay. Well, whatever.
Oh, we're really pitting them
Now
against
this
each
is
other
a
right
whole
now.
other, podcast.
You and Tyler are the besties. You guys are the besties.
I don't
I'm just the
know how that
asshole
is.
that owns the place.
Honestly, I don't know how that is.
We're gonna be on episode number 2. Is gonna
Yeah,
be where
I know,
we
episode of it
resolve
about
all
the whole
problems here.
Yeah, but okay. So me, are you done, Danielle? I'm sorry.
That's my thing.
I feel
wish
bad.
I
I'm-
was not
yeah.
like that back then.
Very
Yeah.
understandable. I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still a hard ass. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But if I could go back, I mean, when I was 20 years old, I mean, literally, I was trying to. I knew I was going to go to College of Italian Delight. Like,
You don't need to go to.
I think you
Yeah,
need
who
Pat
needs to
that
go to
shit.
college?
I think you need to do that.
no shit.
So-
I mean, literally, it was college. People ask me right now, where'd you go to college? Italian Delight.
Italian Delight.
College of Italian Delight. So, knowing that, if I could go back when I was 20 years old, I still wanted to be a kid at that age.
Yeah.
So I was literally a kid until I had kids. But at 20 years old, I had an opportunity to I didn't know how big my opportunity was. Like I had it right in front of me, and I could have done a lot more, and if I could go back now and I knew what I know now. I mean, I could have took it a lot further, but being where we're at, I mean, we're good, right?
I mean, when Dad opened, we had another location out in South Overland Park that was only open for 10 years, but we were young running that. You know
I was 20 years old.
We didn't take it that seriously.
Did you know that when you asked that question? Because
I
I was literally, you did know that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't know that either.
I was literally 20 years old, and she was 18.
Yeah.
And so we're kids. And
we were working all the time.
Yeah, which wasn't enough.
You know what's crazy is at that time, like at 20, I was the same way. I was like working all the time within a family business, and I thought like I had the world by the horns. Like I'm like, I don't think I could do any more.
No.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those things I look back now and I was like,
dude,
I had everything possible that I could have taken advantage of, and I didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't take it very seriously.
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying.
I took it more seriously.
Oh yeah, you still do.
I was lame like that. That's all I got.
She still does, man. I mean, I was DJing on the side, man, and coming to work at 9 a.m., DJ until 3:30 in the morning, but at a club.
We'll drop all his DJ deets underneath the podcast.
I mean, I was just doing whatever it took to just to have a blast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sis, she was more on top of it, which she still is, man. I mean, that's my rock, man. I mean, Queen Bee right there. I mean, anything. If I want to do something and she's not happy about it, whatever makes her happy, I'm on it. I mean, that's how it is, and that's my little sister. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's pretty cool too. The relationship you guys have, that you guys can work side by side.
I know how it works.
She runs the shit. You know. I'll tell you how it works. You run the shit. I'm just there, man. You're the boss, and if you don't like it, then whatever. I'll do whatever you want to do that keeps you happy. Because if you're happy, then the rest of the restaurant's happy.
Come take some lessons over here.
Yeah, right.
I'll cut this clip out and we'll send this directly.
Right.
To her.
I do what she wants, and sometimes, and if I have some kind of bright idea, she was like, "Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we're good. Yeah,
Oh
we're
my
good.
God,
All right."
It's crazy how many business models that people don't understand that McDonald's, there was two people that made it happen.
Yeah.
You see one.
Yeah.
Henry Ford,
Yeah.
there's two of them. There's two people that always make these things work.
Yeah.
And you have a visionary and you have an innovator. And like when you put those two people together,
Yeah, I mean,
it's magic what happens. And it's like, I see that very much with you two, that you have that exact same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll leave
That-
me hanging, but
See,
Again, just like that.
see that? But somehow we shake and bake.
he's like out of breath over there. He's like,
That's twice. Damn, she did it again. I'm like, what? Do you not?
And
Okay. Anyway,
Too many drinks.
we do make it happen.
you do make it
We
happen.
do somehow we do have a good chemistry. But I mean, you know what? It's in the genes, man.
It's in the genes.
You know, we're both
Hell yeah, Frank.
we're both Frank's kids, Frank and Victoria.
Yeah.
We're both their kids, so somehow we make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's still going 45 years later.
Yeah, and you guys are absolutely killing it.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, thank you.
And like I said, this is probably going to be episode 1. Number 2, we'll figure out all the...
If we bring,
There's all kinds of shit we can come up with episode 2. I'm telling you.
I'm going to... I hit my final question. Ricky, you have anything summing
That's
up
all I
with?
got. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
It's
keep it up.
clearly working.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We will plug everything for Italian Delight beneath here. Also, if you see us on Instagram, we're sharing Italian Delight stuff all the time, everything like that. Same thing with our Facebook. I'm thinking of who is probably over there that I'm going to key. I see. Oh, that's Logan. I see us watch over there. So we're going to key Logan.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.